welcome back to my channel. Today I am really excited because we're going to try out a new bronzer highlighter palette. You guys are here on my channel. I love to bronze up the face to give my face a little bit more dimension. I know I look pretty ghostly right now, but I promise you once we dive on in, everything will look a lot more put together. And today we're going to be trying out the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. This is called the Stalk'R face and eye palette. And this is basically a bronzer and highlighter palette, which I'm really excited about because it runs for $48. You have so many different shades you can play around with, different types of highlighters in this palette as well. And today we're going to be basically working on our eyes, bronzing up the face. We're going to try to use as many of the shades as possible. And I'm really excited to test this out. This is limited edition. It's supposed to give us a matte finish, obviously be really pigmented but easy to blend out. And so everything that I use for today's video will be listed down below in case you're interested. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's jump on in and finish getting ready. So in case you haven't seen this palette, this is all new to you. This is basically it. It is beautiful. I love the fact that it's like rose gold. It looks really luxe, and to be honest, it's really lightweight. It looks like it would be heavy, and to be honest, I also thought it was going to be a little bit wider for some reason. It's a little small, but I feel like it's the perfect size, that it's really lightweight, that it fits in the palm of your hands. And the back of the packaging, it also lists the name of each and every single one of the shades that you're receiving in your palette. I love that they did that. It's a really nice guide. And as for the inside of the palette, I love that it comes with a mirror. It's a really nice size, perfect if you're doing your makeup in the car or traveling. And the pan size so far, it looks perfect. It looks like my brush is going to fit comfortably in each and every single one of the pans. I feel like this can essentially last you a long time, and I feel like everyone will essentially find something that can work for their skin complexion. The highlighter pans, love the size of them. I feel like I don't really use highlighter as much as I did before, but I love the idea that it's included because every now and then I do like to use and apply on a little bit of highlighter. So I'm really excited to test these out. I'll throw an up close clip of the swatches so you can see for yourself on how they all look. Swatch on the side of my arm. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with bronzing up the face, and then we'll just kind of tie everything together at last and work on our eyes. That's typically the order that I do my makeup. I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty 106, and this is a round foundation brush. And I'm going to go into Caramel Cutie, which is this really pretty center shade here on the palette. I feel like that's going to be like the perfect undertone for me. It's not too dark, but dark enough to like warm everything up. I know my face looks pretty light right now. I feel like I over powdered, but don't worry. Once I do everything, it essentially ends up working out for me. So I'm going to go in. I feel like I'm in between shades right now, so I'm just trying to figure it out. But overall, don't worry, it's gonna look fine once I'm done. So I'm gonna go in, and I typically like to start bronzing up my face or contouring, kind of starting from the top edge of my ear and kind of going in, and then just kind of dabbing it into the skin and blending it up, just because we want to give the illusion of a little bit more structure to the face. And then I'm going to go in towards the side of the forehead, temple area, and then whatever I have left over, I'm just going to go ahead and blend it in all around the forehead as well. And if you ever feel like maybe you applied on maybe a little too much, you can always go in with a clean, fluffy brush and just kind of go over the areas just to make sure everything is really blended, especially if you want to remove maybe a little bit of the pigmentation. That always comes in handy. It goes a long way, you guys. So now I'm going to go in with a BK Beauty 103 bronzer brush. But actually, before I forget, let me give an up-close clip of how my skin is currently looking. And everything is blended really, really nicely. I love the undertone. You can see a difference from one side to the other. My face looks a little bit more chiseled, more defined. And I personally really, really love that. The power of makeup, you guys, is amazing. And keep in mind, the only thing I have on the left side of my face is just powder, foundation, concealer. I've done everything else, but I have not, bronzed up the face. So now I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty 103 brush, and I'm going to go in to the second lightest shade, which is called Private Island. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of Private Island over the areas that we've already applied on, a little bit of that darker shade, which is called Caramel Cutie. I just want to give a little bit more definition, add a little bit more to it, just so we can play around with, the shades and how it's currently looking. But so far, I love how it's blending. It's a really pretty undertone. Picked up a little bit of a Private Island, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it on the outer edges of the areas where we've applied on Caramel Cutie. And in this skin, I'm just going to go ahead and apply it a little over where I've applied on a Caramel Cutie, not underneath. I'm mainly focusing on it above and then in the inner edge of the forehead. And then whatever I have left over, I'm just going to go ahead and drag it down the cheekbone area. Yeah, the cheekbone, no, the jawline area. And then I'm just going to drag it down the neck and chest area as well, just to give everything a little bit more warmth and definition. But as you can see, everything is blending like butter, you guys. I love the undertone. I feel like it works really well with my skin complexion. You can see a big noticeable difference from one side to the other. I know the other side looks really, really white, but look how it just ties in together once you kind of bronze and give your face a little bit more dimension. Now it doesn't look so bad. It's looking so much better. And keep in mind that I've all applied on is foundation, powder, obviously concealer, and set everything into place, but that is basically it. So I'm going to finish on the other side of my face, and then we'll come back and work on our eyes using this palette. So I just finished bronzing up the left side of my face. Let me give you an up-close clip of how my skin is currently looking. Comment down below on your thoughts. I feel like my skin is looking really good, you guys. Everything has blended really nicely. No patchiness. I haven't had any issues. It hasn't grabbed a hold to any maybe dry areas or anything like that. So I'm really impressed so far with the blendability and how pigmented these shades really are. Now I'm actually going to go in and contour up the nose, and this is something, if you've been following me for a while, then you know that I do this, but I don't do it too often. I like to practice and just play around with different bronzer shades that I have in my collection, so every now and then I'll just do it just for fun. So for today's video, I'm going to go in again with the BK Beauty brush, and this is the 201. This is a blend crease brush, and I'm going to dip my brush into Private Island and Caramel Cutie just really lightly, and it is the two center shades here in the palette that we used earlier. And I personally like to start at the edge of the nose and just kind of shading it in at the tip, but doing it really lightly and not too roughly, just because I don't want to remove the makeup that I currently have on. And then I like to go in at the brow, kind of little tail end right over here, and then just kind of dragging it down, shading it at the edges as well. And then in the center, I like to do like a little tip or a little I want this little area to kind of stand out a little bit more. So I'll just go over this little center area. I'm not even sure what it's called. Comment down below if you do know what it's called. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side really lightly. And with the same brush I was just using to blend out the edges from contouring my nose, I'm going to go into Fat Glass. And there's this really pretty like champagne-ish highlighter here in the palette. And I'm just going to go and apply it on the edge of the nose. That's typically where I like to highlight when I do highlight my face. And then I'm going to go in over the lip cupid's bow and then at the little edge of the chin area. So far, I really love this highlighter. It's really, really pretty, very pigmented. And again, I feel like it's the same thing. A little bit of product goes a long way, and I love the undertone. It looks really pretty, very subtle, perfect for summer. So I quickly applied on blush, and I actually went in with the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Blush. This is in shade Nude Kiss number 110. It is beautiful, blend out really nicely, love the undertone. As for eyeshadow primer, I went in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eyeshadow Primer and set my eyes into place with the Boudoir Noir ColourPop eyeshadow palette. The shade that I went in to apply it all around the base of the lid, I went in to Deja Vu, this really pretty like beige off-white kind of eyeshadow. And now we're gonna go ahead and dive on into our face cheek palette or face eye palette, that's what it's called. And we're gonna go ahead and use the shades that we currently have in this palette to create a really pretty nude eye look, which you guys know here on my channel, I love a nude makeup look, so I'm really excited. So I'm gonna go in to, same thing, I'm gonna go into Private Island, the second shade here in the palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply it within the crease of the lid, doing windshield wiper motions, building the pigmentation. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of pull it at the corner of the eye. Now we're going to go in with the same brush that we were using earlier. We're going to go into Coco Knotty, which is the second to last shade here in the palette, which is a little bit more of like a warmth to it that I personally really like. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply it in the corner of the eye, doing circular motions, pulling the eyeshadow as well to the corner of the eye. And so I actually went in back into the Boudoir Noir eyeshadow palette with a small little detailed brush. The one that I used is from Morphe. This is from an old collection, so I don't think it's available anymore. But I actually went in, picked up a little shadow, and just kind of cleaned out the edges because I wanted everything to stand out a little bit more. more. But now I am gonna go in back into our palette, and I'm gonna use my BK Beauty brush. This is such a small little brush. I love how small and detailed it is. It gives me control of how thin or thick I want my liner to be. So I'm gonna go into Thick Mint, the darker shade here in the palette, and I'm gonna pick up some of the pigment, and I'm just gonna apply it on the upper lash line, pulling it as a liner. And then of course we're gonna smoke out the bottom lash line, because it wouldn't be a look unless we smoked out the bottom lash line here on my channel. And we're gonna go into the BK, we're gonna use the BK Beauty 204 brush, and I'm actually gonna go into Caramel Cutie, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dip my brush into the palette, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it on the lower lash line, and mainly focusing it and from the center to the corner of the eye, tying it in to Thick Mint, the little winged liner that we created. And we're just gonna go ahead and blend everything out and build the pigmentation. All right, you guys, and this is basically it. I have finished getting ready. I have finished on my eyes. What do you guys think so far? I feel like you guys probably already know how I feel about it. I absolutely love this face eye palette. I feel like for $48 is definitely worth it, especially if you can get this on sale right now. I know Sephora has like the 15% off kind of like annual sale or quarterly sale that they have. So I personally love that it's small and compact, that it's rose gold. I love the shades. They all blended effortlessly. I didn't notice any patchiness whatsoever. They're really pigmented. A little bit of product goes a long way. Love the highlighter. You guys know here, I'm not a huge fan of wearing highlighter as I once was, but I still really liked it on. It looks really pretty, looks really natural, and it blended effortlessly. I absolutely love how my makeup turned out, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Everything that I used to get ready for today will be listed down below. If you have any questions, comment down below as well. Let me see if there's a smell as well, because sometimes people ask, like, does it smell like anything? And to be honest, no, it doesn't have any scent to it, which I'm not surprised. But yeah, I love the shades, you guys. I feel like this will definitely come in handy when I'm a little bit more tan during the summertime. But everything, again, will be listed down below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. I love you all so, so much. Bye!